Hello everybody, welcome back to my Minutes in Maya series where I just go over functions and features in Maya that you might not necessarily get on your first experience. So today we are going to be going over the view cube. Now the view cube is a function that allows you to kind of navigate around your viewport using this little cube function here. If you use other Autodesk software such as 3ds Studio Max or Revit, you might be familiar with this function here. I found that a lot of people who have used Revit especially are much more comfortable using the camera navigation tools using the view cube instead. So instead of using your standard camera navigation tools, holding down Alt, left click, middle mouse click, and right click to rotate, pan, and zoom respectively, you can use the view cube to pan around your object as well. So as you can see, as I click on this cube here, I can kind of pan around and move the object like this. I can also hotkey to a couple different predetermined orthographic areas around the 3D view space by clicking on either of these buttons that say front, top, right, left, etc. If I hit on the orthographics, I can also hit these little arrows to snap to those views here. I can also hit these corners and edges to kind of go to those positions around the cube as well. And this just kind of allows me to quickly navigate to a couple snap areas around my viewport. If I want to go back to my default view setting, I can use this little rewind button here, click this, and it'll send me back to my default viewport. So this is kind of a quick way of just getting back to your default view here. Now, if I was to snap out to orthographic views by clicking space and going into one of my orthographic cameras by moving my cursor over here, you can see that there is also a view cube function here. Now this one you can't really pan around, since you can't really pan around or rotate just like you would be able to really pan around or rotate in any orthographic views, but you can snap to these orthographic views really quickly by using the buttons around the cube here. So if you are using your orthographic views, you can use your view cube option as well. You can also use this little arrows around here to kind of rotate around your cube as well. Now, if you're in your viewport here and you want to get or to change some of the view functionality of your view cube, there are a couple ways that you can do that. The first way that we're going to figure out is by going over up here to display. We're going to go to heads up display, and you should see near the bottom a option that says view cube. If you just uncheck the view cube here, it's going to disappear from your viewport. By default, when you load up a new scene in Maya, so that was just to go open a new scene in Maya, it should just have your view cube on. And I'm going to go back to my test model here. But if you want to change it off, toggle it on and off, you can go to your heads up display and toggle it from here. You can also change some of the visibility options in your preferences window. So to pop that out really quick, going to Windows, Preferences here, you should see one of the options up here under the Interface tab called ViewTube or ViewCube. Here you can obviously toggle it on and off by clicking this Show option here. You also have the option of changing the position here. So by default, it's going to be at this top right, but I can change it to be, let's say, bottom left. I can change its size to be small, normal, large. Let's just change it to large here. And I can change the opacity options here, so that's a little less, it's a little bit more transparent when it isn't being used. So let's change it to 25, hit save. And you should see now it's kind of moved over to this option here. It's not going to move over this options right away when you're changing the preferences. So if it doesn't snap to it right away, just go ahead and hit save, and it should click to wherever you need to really quickly. I will go back, but for now, I'm going to go back and set up my default preferences. So I'm gonna go top right, normal, 50, hit save, and as you can see, it's kind of gone back to the default position. Now, an important thing about the view cube, especially if you are using this a lot, is that it is only active in the default cameras that Maya creates. So when you create a new scene in Maya, you will have 4 cameras by default created in the scene, a perspective camera and 3 orthographic cameras, your top, your front, and your side, respectively. If I was to create a new camera really quickly by going to panels, perspective, and new, as you can see, the view cube option is no longer here. If I go over to my display options, heads up display, you can see that the view cube option is toggled, but it isn't really changing anything in the viewport. And as far as I'm aware, you can't really change anything about the view cube rendering on and off in any new or unique camera. You have to be in the view cube options or in one of your default options. The view cube is a fairly new feature in Autodesk Maya. It's only been around since Autodesk 2020, or from Autodesk Maya 2022, I believe. And I'm currently using version 2025. I don't know if it's been updated in newer versions at the time of the recording of this, but if you are using newer versions, that might be an option that you can work with. But as for now, you can only use it in your default camera views here. All right, I hope this was helpful. If you guys want to keep using the view cube, or you want to keep using your default camera move options here, it's completely up to you. This is just giving you a little bit more explanation on what this little option is, or what this little icon is up here. All right, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day.